I got asthma, y'all, so like the cold is like giving me a hard time. Brr, it's cold in here. I said there must be some bubbles in the atmosphere. It's chilly. It's getting real chilly out. Alright guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. This is my humble home. You live here, we live wherever we want. What's that from?
Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Put on a little jacket because it's cold. And you already know what we're talking about today. My alopecia journey. It's been quite the journey. I feel lucky, even though I haven't. It's been almost a year since I first discovered it. I was driving to work in my car and I was scratching my neck and I just went a little bit more up and I felt some softness and I was like, that don't feel right. Just dive right into the story. So I'm driving to work, filled a spot. Luckily I worked for a healthcare company that I was able to see a provider right away. I saw a provider. She thought it was ringworm. The company had naturopaths. They didn't think it was ringworm. I went to a different location where they had a skin specialist. He thought it was ringworm.
No, bro. It's not a ringworm. Okay. Did I do that right?
So he prescribed me this cream, didn't use it. I ended up going to a dermatologist. He just very like nonchalant. It's alopecia areata. And, you know, we could do a severe, extreme. I think severe. Get yourself together. Okay. So he was going to do a really big treatment. Steroid shot in my butt, steroid injections in my head, and oral steroids. And so I took that back to the skin specialist because where I worked, I got things free. So, duh, I'm going to go back to where I worked. And he wasn't comfortable doing all that, so we just did the steroid injections in my head.
Come on, bruh. Try to do a video, bruh. Can someone shut my door? Damn dogs. Okay, so, where was I?
So we just did the steroid injections in my head. I got the one in the one bald spot, and in my thumbnail, that was the first one, and it was pretty big, a little bit bigger than a quarter. And then I went to go get a haircut, and the hairstylist like, I don't want to alarm you, but you kind of have another bald spot. And I'm like, what? And guys, when I know that, please don't like don't come at me, because I know people have cancer and people go through a lot shittier stuff, and bald spots is not anything compared to that kind of stuff. But as a woman, losing your hair is kind of a big deal. So when she told me I had another bald spot, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So between all these providers, I did get blood work. I didn't have anything that came back abnormal except for my vitamin D, which is important because vitamin D kind of controls everything. So I started taking my vitamin D, natural vitamins. I really am more of a natural Eastern medicine kind of person than a Western. So I was trying to kind of just eliminate stuff that I didn't need in my body, besides the steroid injections that I was getting for my hair. Because at that time, I'm like, whatever it takes to get my hair to grow back, I don't care. And so my blood work came back fine. I didn't have any issues. So I went back. I scheduled an appointment a week after I found out the second one, and he just gave me another shot. So from the second one being in February to my month follow-up, I ended up having 7 spots, and some were bigger than others. The one in the back was getting bigger, and yeah, 7 bald spots, from the big one to the size of my pinky nail. Like, that's, it was just, luckily you couldn't tell. They were all growing under a lot of my hair, so I'd have to show you for you to be like, oh, okay, there it is. But yeah, so in those 2 months, I really was emotionally, I was thinking like, although my blood work came back.
Oh my god, I'm about to sneeze. Pineapples. Okay.
So emotionally, I was like, okay, I know that there's nothing going on internally. Like I don't have any autoimmune issues. What the heck is going on? And when I went to go see the specialist, he didn't think that it came from stress. He thought it came from an internal infection. He just didn't know where this infection was coming from. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And so those 2 months emotionally, it made me feel like it wasn't going to get better because it was getting worse. And the worst alopecia that you can get, I don't know the name of it, but I'm going to put in a picture so you guys can kind of see what the autoimmune system is doing to your hair follicles. So, I didn't want it to get worse because the worst it can get is all your hair falls out and it never grows back. So, that's what I was afraid of. And emotionally, I was trying to mentally prepare for that. Not only that, I also had the rest of my life that was going on, and a bunch of stuff was happening. And really, this was just the kickoff again to 2018 because this year has been horrific, probably the worst years of my life. But yeah, so during the time of mentally just really getting healthier, I had the Marina IUD in, took that out, got the Paragard, which is the copper IUD. Doesn't have any hormones, so I wasn't trying to have what my body wasn't already naturally producing in my body. So
Check Marina, get the Paragard, because I ain't trying to have no more babies. At least, not at the time. And,
I dabbled into essential oils. I know cedarwood is good. It doesn't smell great. Don't recommend it. Lavender. My friend at work, she has her own company with an essential oil company. If you're watching, don't hate me. This is not from your company, but I do have lavender in my little rollie here. So I would get this and go over like my bald spots after I get out of the shower, and that, or I would get the essential oil and put it in my hand with this castor oil. Which is, I've seen tremendous effect to my hair and the way my hair feels. I would use it as a mask. I would put it really all over my hair, not just to the bald spots. But I would do that on the weekends. I didn't do it every day. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things were going through my head. Like, you know, all the coloring I did to my hair all these years. Like, is it going to screw me now? I didn't want to lose all my hair. I was so scared. I've been trying to grow my hair out for like 7 years. It hasn't been long in a long time. And really, the type of person that I am is, if you throw something at me, it may knock me down. And I might stay down for a while. And if you're going through this and you're going through anything in life, you're allowed to stay down. If you're going to hit the floor, hit crying and feeling the way you gotta feel, because and you might get alopecia and be like, I don't care. Me, it affected me a little bit more than now that I think about it. You know, I probably was a little bit over dramatic, but it was an emotional thing for me. I think now as an adult, when something happens physically, and especially being alopecia, there's no really big understanding of why it happened. So being something that really I was just like, okay, my hair's falling out, and there's absolutely no way of figuring out why, because it just happens. So I think for me, I took it. I was like, okay, this is happening, and I was mentally preparing myself for it to get worse. I dabbled into some wigs. I'm not like a pro at them. I have 2 of them. One I used entirely way too much, and it's not usable anymore, but I still have it. I bought another one. I don't really like it. I've only worn it once, and I took it off because it wasn't, I didn't like it. But, you know, I decided to leave my hair alone. Coloring, I would color it like once a week, because I would always dabble into colors, bleach it once a month or more than once a month. So that's why I kind of got into wigs, so I could leave my hair alone. I left my hair alone for like 7 months, and I got bored with it. I get tired of these white little guys. This isn't on purpose. This is genetics, and I have white hair. But I really only did the steroid injections, which are cortisone injections, which are steroids, I believe. So yeah, same thing. I really only did them for 2 months. Well, 3. February, March, and April. And then I was supposed to see him again in May, and I never went, because I just wanted to just clear my body out of things that don't need to be in my body. And I started getting into my oils and stuff like that. And now I'm not as consistent, because now I'm just like, okay, whatever. I know that it's going to get better, because the big bald spot cleared up. The last time I cut my hair was about 3 months ago, and I decided to kind of be risky and shave the back of my head, but then that didn't turn out well, because I ended up discovering the first picture that I posted. Actually, I don't think I've showed you guys my bald spots. Those are my bald spots. So the first picture is the back of my head, and I didn't realize I had that little small spot. It's growing out now, but when I shaved my head, it didn't look great. So I decided just to let it grow out, and I haven't cut my hair since then. I haven't colored it, and I'm going to try to leave it alone for a year. Probably won't happen in the summer, because your girl likes to color her hair, but I'm going to leave it alone until then. And hopefully those bald spots grow, but I know that it's going to get better. And again, as an adult, I think why I took it so seriously was because, you know, when I was young, I didn't think about my health. I didn't think about time. I thought, oh, I'm going to live forever, you know, and right now everything's getting burned off, and I'm so active and blah, blah, blah. And now that I'm getting old, I'm like, all I really care is about my time and my health. Like, as long as I'm healthy and you ain't wasting my time, or I'm not wasting my time doing bullshit, then we're straight. And so now I just live day by day, and it doesn't affect me as much as it did then. But if you are going through it, again, I'm sorry that you are. I hope it gets better. Try the castor oil. It works wonders. Try the lavender. I will link down below my friend's website to where you can get this essential oil, because from what I've heard, it's probably the best company out there. I got my stuff from this like organic store that was near where we work, so I went and got this one, and I still have it. And she told me, because she looked it up. And there's a lot of things that you can do if you want to stay consistent with the steroid injections and you don't really care about having shit in your body. Go for it. I read that you would have to get them for 6 months to a year before seeing any real results. I saw my hair growth pretty quickly. So, and what the steroid injections do is they block the area from being attacked again by your immune system, so your hair can grow back, and that's what they do. And I believe that it can work, and I know there is success stories out there. I just didn't want to put crap in my body, and I wanted to just let my body do its own thing and figure out what normal is, and if it wasn't normal, how do we get it normal? So that was my little journey. Now again, like, I'm letting the back of my hair grow, and I'm just leaving it alone, and now that I moved, and and I found this in one of my boxes. I'm going to start using it. I use it a lot more now that I have it. So that is it, guys. I'm not trying to make this video super long, but there's bloopers, so stay tuned. Okay, in my next video, really I'm trying to put videos out there about my year this year, because it has been my toughest, and I'm hoping anything that I put out there benefits you guys in some way. So I'm gonna just really talk about not only my alopecia, but during this time I started a relationship that really rocked my world. So I'm going to talk about that next, but I hope this is helpful. I hope you learned something. If you're going through a rough time, find somebody that will give you a hug and say, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I definitely had people that were sweet to me, and I had people that were like, get over it, it's just hair. And by all means, take my hair, take it all, if it leaves me out of getting all the bad stuff. It could be worse. It could totally be worse. But whatever, man. It's just hair, and I know that it'll grow back. I have faith that it will grow back, and you should too. And if it gets worse, it's gonna be okay. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, any video ideas, I'm gonna put my email down below. Follow me, Soul Attack. Can you see it? I know it's backwards, but you can see it right. Really on anywhere, Twitter, Instagram. You can hit me up on Facebook too, but really I have all my social media like on, like my notifications are turned off, because I really not try to distract my life with social media. So either way, you're noticed if you're faithful to me. I appreciate it so much. Okay, guys, I'm outie. See y'all later, and have a happy Friday. All right, guys, bye.
Alopecia, right? Alopecia? Alopecia. 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 Alopecia areata. I think alopecia is Latin or Aryan. Forget it. We're not even gonna get too serious here. I interrupt my video. Okay. My nephew's in the other room taking care of the kids, so he texts me and I'm like, let me see what that says.